Fear is the inherited virus. You pass fear to the next generation by the way you react instead of reflecting. But healing begins when love becomes louder than fear. The pandemic is not just physical, the real pandemic is our inability to remain humane, to feel, to care, to live ethically, and to remember that you are one body. Yeshua went on to say, hold your light. Allow those seeking refuge to mirror the light they are also. Speak your words and let it burn with truth. So, whew, I had a BLOODY dry throat so terribly because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not, nope, I'm not giving this message. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. And look at the things that transpired today and how much of my energy I gave away when I was listening to all these things, and myself began to judge the choices of so many people, because as a human being, I thought to myself, yeah, they do deserve to be judged. How dare you do that? And how dare you do that? And it's okay when you fall off balance sometimes. And I think this needed to come through because of the energies that I held all day, because when you come from a place, it's home. So Jamaica is my home by heart, and it's a very, very small percentile of this world. But energetically, what I would like us to understand as Caribbean people, and I'm not just specifically talking about Caribbean people, but this is where, I was born. So you are on the most beautiful and powerful grid lines you could ever think of. And I know majority of you will not understand this, but the grid lines that are beyond and within and around the Caribbean Sea, all the way around to Florida, coming all the way down there, it is a dynamic of the past riches and wealth of Atlantis. And I know, research it, do whatever you need to do. However, the grid lines that are there are so powerfully rich that allows you somehow, without knowing about poorness, without knowing, I remember growing up, I didn't know about poorness because if a Jamaican family does not have meat as a child growing up, you don't know that you're poor, because your mother is so proud within her being, and she still cooks the rice and peas and chicken, and she will cook up onions and tomato in some coconut oil and really dress it up, and you'd have a full meal, and you don't know that you're poor unless you start to go to school somewhere or go to somebody else's yard and say, wait, they have two pieces of chicken. That's when we realize, wait, something was missing. And even then, you're still so grateful for your humble upcoming. And now that I look back on my life, I realize, oh my gosh, it's the grid lines that allowed us to still be the rebels. The Yeshua, lifeline is still flowing through the veins of all of us across this world. This is why you rebel. This is why you stand in your truth and your power. This is why you don't allow people to make you shrink your light or shut you up. But what I went through today, it's just a small dynamic of the country. And what you need to understand, what happens is in every country, it's not the majority of the people who do dark things. It's a very minute amount, but what we need to understand, that the devil's playing ground that we play with, you know, going through your phone and clicking, the algorithm is so beautifully designed that it keeps sending you the same message from different countries across the world, from different people, but it has the same imprint of energy. So if it's something that's atrocious and it takes your energy, that's what it's going to feed you for the entire day once you keep doing this. And if it is something that's happy, you keep getting jokes all the way, because the algorithm just lines you up with one very same common factor, one very same energy that you're focusing on, and keeps feeding that to you as long as that's what you're searching for. So it shows you, it mirrors to your intellect, it mirrors to your spirituality to say, the things that I focus on really comes at me double force. Physically, if you're focusing on a particular thing, a particular way of life, if you believe, oh my gosh, life I don't deserve, or I rather be an unkind person, that's exactly what you're going to represent. If an AI system that's an algorithm can feed you all the very same resonance all through the day, what do you think happens to you in the super world that is super consciousness? That's what's attracted back to you. So I think this was needed for me, because when I realized it is a very small percentile of Jamaica that has this aspect now. However, you can feel energetically that the darkness that's spreading, just slowly spreading from household to household, and the dynamics is changing, and you can see almost as if we're going mad, like the world is just going, like you say, yeah, mad people, you know, you're going crazy. You say, how could you do that in your in a logical human mind? What happened to the ethics, and what's happening to love and humanity? Why you will make these choices? Why will you will ostracize yourself and not take accountability and responsibility for your words that comes out of your mouth? Because what, you're not feeling the energy? So if you're not feeling it when you speak, can you observe somebody else, how they react to it, and stop to yourself to say, wait, the words that I say packs a punch so much that they react in that way? And think about the young ones that are coming up around you, because that's one of the probabilities. Can you imagine being sitting here in 2025 and be catapulted to 2125 and have a visual of one probability of seeing young ones who simply are coming from this lineage now, who will choose to press replay because of something that you chose to do of darkness here, of ostracizing somebody else, something you did that another child witnessed, that they embedded right here within their what do you call it? What do you call that computers have that store memory? Whatever, your memory bank here. And they pass it on down their lineage, and pass it on.